Hello my wonderful friends, Magus here, and I know I put out a video today, but I couldn't get this off my mind, and I got to read it to you. It says, when the way is lost, there is goodness. When goodness is lost, there is morality. When morality is lost, there is ritual, and ritual is the husk of true faith in the beginning of chaos. My friends, it just hit me. The reason our world is in chaos because our religion is just ritual, and like it says here, it's that husk of true faith. We have to work our way back up. We're not even in morality, we're not even in goodness, and we're surely not in the way and in the bliss. And my friends, we've been talking a lot about fifth dimension. You hear it everywhere, and that's where we're going into, aren't we? Into that age of Aquarius, that golden age. And we're going to talk more about it. I've been looking at it from a scientific angle, and then of course a spiritual angle, and we're going to discuss this over the month here in detail. But we got to get an idea of what true faith is. What is the way? It goes on to say that goodness and godness are one. I love that. Goodness and godness are one, and I trust who I am, a child of God. It says that the sage has no fixed mind, but he is aware of others' needs. He is kind to the unkind. He is kind to the kind, because the nature of his being is kindness. He can't be anything but kind, and it doesn't matter how anyone is acting around him or the situation around him. He has nothing else to give but kindness, because that is his nature. It says he is faithful to the faithful. He is also faithful to the unfaithful. The sage lives in harmony with all below heaven. He sees everything as his own self. He loves everyone as his own child. All people are drawn to him. He behaves like a little child. And that made me think of Jesus when he said we must become like little children to enter the kingdom of heaven. And then Jesus also said, be perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. And my friends, the religions, because of their ritual, have distorted the meaning of that. Perfect is love. Perfect love casts out fear. When we cast out fear out of our world, my friends, what is left is unconditional love, the highest truth, inner peace, outer peace, by removing that lie and illusion. And my friends, I've been doing a study. One of our wonderful friends is a Sikh, and he knows I covered all the different religions, but I haven't covered Sikhism, and it's a very interesting religion. Beautiful people. Now please hear me. As you know, I do this with all the religions. I take the good and I take the bad, and I show you which parts we should keep and which parts we need to get rid of, because as this was saying here, that goodness and godness are one, and that God's nature and our nature should be of only love and kindness. And it doesn't matter how anyone is acting around us, but many of these world religions, their God reacts. He'll like they say of Jehovah and Allah and Shiva, that it sends good and evil, that it creates and destroys, my friends. But good spirit is unconditional love, is only kind, is only peace, is only joy. And as I was putting together this study of Sikhism, let me start with a positive. It's beautiful what they do. They feed hundreds of thousands of people. They have temples, and it doesn't matter what faith you are of. You can come in and they will feed you and love on you and take care of you. They wear the turban to show people that if there's someone out there in trouble, that they can come to that person with a turban and they will protect them. They carry a knife on them to protect others. Now, I don't think that's the highest way, but I imagine if you were getting attacked, that'd be good enough, wouldn't it, to have someone to protect you? So I understand it. But what I teach is just don't call it God. And if you remember in my book, Steel Pools of the Mind, I tell the story of the woman walking to work, and she kept getting attacked and harassed. And then one day she got raped, and she just said, enough is enough. And she grabbed a rock and hit one guy, grabbed a stick, stabbed another guy, fought back, and she became a hero of her village. My friends, but we don't call that God. that's great that she was no longer a victim, because it's better to get into violence and anger and rage and fight and war than to be a helpless victim. I get that, but that's not God. That's not the highest principle of good. And these world religions have tried to make that violence and fighting and survival of the fittest, and they've called it God or Jehovah or Allah, and they've created whole rituals and religions out of it. But for us to get to that next level, that fifth dimension, we're going to have a higher way, and we're going to have to call good God and not have a mixed God that creates and destroys, loves and hates. And we're going to have to all come together, and it's hard because we get behind our religion, we get behind our country. It's like our team that we're rooting for, and now you see with the religions, they're just trying to rewrite it, which I understand. That's great. Like we talked about Gandhi with the Gita, and he rewrote it to be a more positive. So then when Arjuna, he wasn't killing the other tribe, he was killing the lower animal and the ego. And you see it with the Sufis in Islam, and jihad isn't killing people, now it's killing that beast inside of you, and that's great. But you know what, why don't we just get a new religion, a higher idea? Because all religion is a set of beliefs. We can glean off those old religions, because you know what it is, isn't it better than just absolute chaos? Okay, so then you have some ritual, okay, and then you get some morality, and then you get some goodness. But we want to get to the way, to the bliss, to that fifth dimension, to that age of Aquarius, that golden age, that heaven on earth, that Asha. But to do that, we have to have higher ideas. We can't have a God, our highest principle of good, that hates, wars, kills, destroys. It's time, my friends, all around the world to get higher ideas. And that's what I love. This is the Tao by Lao Tzu. So beautiful, so simple, but it's just the idea that we're all connected. What you do affects everyone around you, my friends. And that's why it's so important. Like when we're complaining about the different things going on around in the world, look in yourself, look in your shadow self, and see, is that inside of you? Because you'll find that the outside world is a reflection of what's going on inside of you. Behind closed doors, what do you think? What do you say? What would you do if no one else could see you? If you couldn't get caught? What is your true nature? Is it kind? Is it unconditional love? Is it peace? Are you just trying to be good? A good person doesn't have to try to be good. If you're having to work and strive to be good, watch out, my friends. But you can have a change of nature. And how you do that is, first, you restore His image. Good spirit, my friends. And I don't want to be upsetting, and my channel's small enough. I'm not trying to run anyone off. I'm just trying to get you to think. But good spirit is not Allah or Jehovah or Shiva. Good spirit is good, is love, is peace, is joy, is kind, and has no attributes of the evil spirit. And as I was looking at these different documentaries to teach on Sikhism, because I got some wonderful friends that are Sikhs, such beautiful people, but one thing that just rubbed me wrong is he said that one of the names of their God is Destroyer, and he said our God isn't like those other gods that are just all good, but he brought out the attributes like Jehovah that also can destroy, where it says that I am the Lord who sends good and evil, who creates and destroys. My friends, that is not what we teach in Zoroastrianism. That is not what's taught in the New Age. And so to reach these fifth dimensions, we're going to have higher ideas. There's things you can do. One, of course, raising your idea of who God is, but also, my friends, eating fresh foods, getting rid of meats out of your diet. I don't think that you can reach the higher dimensions and eat meat. I haven't seen it. So that might be something you want to think about. Making sure there's not fluoride and chemicals in your water. I drink out of a well. There's different things that you can do, simple things like that are going to help cleanse out your body and then clean out your mind. What are you watching on TV? I know this, friends, because sometimes I'll watch things on TV, I'll get sucked into a different series, and I find it starts bringing that heaviness and that darkness and that negativity into my mind. And then at night when I go into my meditations, instead of being in those higher realms and those light realms, there's still an attachment to that negative situation I saw in those movies. We can't let those negative energies into us and then expect it not to affect what we are. And I know many of you haven't seen yet. Please go back and watch my astrology video that I did 2 days ago. It didn't get many views, and I think it got 6 likes on it. My friend's spirit spoke through me something that was so beautiful, and it was that we are the light, because we're the light code, and we're always looking outside of ourselves to work in the light. We try to go to different holy places where there's a strong light codes, you know, strong energy, vortexes of energy, and we want to get there and experience it. But my friends, when you realize you are the vortex, you are the one that funnels in spirit to the world, and that will set you free. But to do that, my friends, you have to align yourself. You're going to have to watch what you're bringing into you, not just through food, like cutting out meats, but what you're bringing into your eyes with TV, with your ears, with entertainment and music. Are you bringing in good, high vibrations? The 5th dimension is high vibration. You got to get in the high vibrations. And my friends, we've talked about this, and you can see it. There's that chasm growing, and in all the religions, they know this, and they're talking about it. And the good are getting gooder, and the bad are getting better. And there's an idea, and it's a beautiful idea, isn't it, that the whole world is just going to come into this 5th dimension. But I don't know of any religion that teaches that, and I don't know if everyone's going to choose the higher. A lot of people, they like their sin, okay? They like their war and their fighting and their greed and their lust, and they don't want to let it go. And you know what? You have free will in this, but it's not going to affect me. It's not going to affect my family. We can go into the higher dimensions without them. Like, there's some kind of idea it's all of us or none of us. My friends, that is not true. What happens is you just go into another realm, another dimension. You leave those ones behind, and that's why you see, and it's sad, isn't it, your family and friends that are still locked in these old religions, these Jehovah's and these Allahs and these low vibrations and ideas, and you're moving on, and you do feel that separation, and they feel that separation, my friends. But the best thing we can do is just keep going. You start this journey and you keep going, and you go in those higher dimensions, and you hope that it calls to them. The best thing you can do is to be truly happy, to be truly at peace and joy, and then you don't have to preach at them. You don't have to say a word. You don't have to try to change their religion. They're gonna wanna know the all good spirit. They're gonna want to know Asha and inner peace and joy, and they're tired of trying to be good. Every day they go through the same thing. I don't want to drink, I don't want to do drugs, I don't want to be lustful, I don't want to be hateful and fearful, but they do it anyway, and then they're told in their religion, well, just ask God to forgive you and say this prayer, and animal sacrifice and all these different crazy ideas, my friends. And it's so sad once you're awakened and you see how simple it is. God is good. They are the one, and you become that. You take into you that energy, and you become that, and you change your life, and you change your world. And my friends, if there's enough of us doing that and vibrating that, we will change the entire world. So anyway, I hope that was helpful and explained. Please watch my astrology video. Go back 2 days, and I want to see you guys, because it was a beautiful video. The camera angle was awful, I've heard, but the message just flowed and was beautiful. I know it'll bless you. Matter of fact, I'll put a link to it. Anyway, guys, I love you so much. I need the interaction right now. I don't know what's going on in my life, but I need to hear from you guys. Please take the time to comment and talk to me, and know I love you guys. We'll see you next time.